Hi friends, it's Danielle with Take Care Mama, and I'm so excited to bring you my last book haul of the year. As a busy mom, whenever I get a night to myself, one of the things I love doing is going to the book section in the Goodwill and seeing how many amazing books I can find for $1.50 each. And I have some good ones. I actually got some not from the Goodwill, but from our cabin bookstore. They have a used section, and I got a couple new books, and let's just hop right in. Let's start with the Stephen Kings that I've gotten in the last couple months. I was just looking back, and exactly a year ago, I posted on Instagram that I had read my first Stephen King book. And here we are, a year later. I am such a fan. I think I'm on my 15th. And anytime I see a used Stephen King, I will buy it. And sometimes even a new copy. So let's start with Dolores Claiborne. I love this cover a lot. This is a used copy we got from the cabin bookstore. I don't know a lot about this, but I've been binging people's Stephen King content recently, and specifically like the top 10 Stephen King books that people rank. And Dolores Claiborne is actually on quite a few lists. I think it's a domestic horror, maybe an abusive relationship or something like that. And I know it's a movie. My husband loves the movie, and he actually got this for me. He wants me to read it so we can watch the movie together. And I'm very excited. I definitely want to get to this book in 2022. I apologize if this is a repeat. I might have shown this on another haul, but my husband got this for me. If It Bleeds, it's Stephen King's latest short story collection. I think there are 4 in here. Yes, there are 4. I am going to read it. However, I don't think that this was received the best. I don't think I've heard anyone say this is my best short story collection from Stephen King, but I'm excited to see what's in there. I'm sure there's at least one story that I'll love. Okay, these next 2 I actually already read. The first one's Revival. I just read this in November, so you can look at my November reading wrap up to dive in deeply to my thoughts. I really enjoyed this. I gave it a 4 stars. It's religious horror, which I think is my favorite type of horror. I love when there are religious and spiritual themes. This became more popular recently, even though it was published years and years ago, but Midnight Mass on Netflix has given this a little resurgence because they're both, religious horror and have to do with healings. This Revival is kind of like Stephen King's take on Frankenstein. And then we have Pet Sematary. This is a new copy that my husband also got me. I really like this cover. However, if I find a used older edition, I'm definitely going to get it because I like the other cover artwork that I've seen as well. It'll be interesting, in a year, what I say about this book. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I think it was overly hyped for me. It's a lot of people's favorite book, and I don't know, I enjoyed every minute of it. It was creepy. It had to do a lot with grief. It was more of a human side of King's works, and everything about it I should have loved, and instead I just liked it very much. So again, as time goes on, sometimes my views waver, and so I'm interested to see how this holds up long term for me. I've never seen the movies, but I definitely want to. I think most of the rest of these are used books from the Goodwill. I was so excited for this next one because it's on my TBR, and that's The Devil in the White City. This is historical fiction and true crime, and it's about, I think, a bunch of murders that took place at the Chicago World Fair. The 1893 World Fair in Chicago. I took a lot of history classes in college, and one of my favorite topics to study were the World Fairs. It's just fascinating to me. I'm really excited to get into this. It looks really dense, and this did really well. A lot of people love this, so I'm actually hoping to get to this one sooner than later. I hope early 2022. I I found a copy at the Goodwill of Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. I read this twice this year, and we lent out a copy, and I didn't expect it to get it back, so I just picked up another copy because I love it so much. And then wouldn't you know, 2 days later, the copy was returned to us. So now we have 2 copies, which is totally fine. I spent $3 total on both of them, and my husband and I both really, really got a lot out of this book, and so I'm sure we'll be lending it out again in the future. And now we have 2 copies, or we'll just give one away. Okay, the next is The Story of Edgar, Sawtelle by David Warblewski. I wonder when this was put out. 2008. So definitely an older book. This was an Oprah Book Club book. It's historical fiction. I actually started this years ago. We were on a trip and rented a house, and the house had it in their little library. That's one of my favorite things about renting, like Airbnbs when you go on vacation. I love seeing what books people have and reading them while on vacation. And I loved it. I got a good ways through, and I'm not sure why I never continued and picked it up at the library or whatnot. So I saw this at the Goodwill and wanted to pick it up. From what I remember, it's a farm in Wisconsin, and they breed dogs. I don't know anything about breeding dogs, and I learned a lot of information. I found it really interesting. It's one of the things I love about historical fiction. And then it's kind of like a family drama. Some tragedies happen, and we're following the son of the family, and I enjoyed it. So I think I'll pick it up again sometime. Kind of the same story with this next one. I had started this in the past and liked it, but for whatever reason I didn't finish, and that's Elizabeth Gilbert's The Signature of All Things. I really love Liz Gilbert. This again is historical fiction. I think we're in the 19th century, and it's about the daughter of a botanical explorer. I remember in the beginning it was all about bringing different plants from different countries in and how that worked. I think people even smuggled them in. I just found it fascinating. And so I didn't get very far in this, so I don't have a lot to say, but I love her. So I'm excited about that. A very popular book, and I don't know anything about it except that it's popular and just such a great and recognizable book cover. I see this all the time. This was a Reese Witherspoon's book club. I don't know even what genre this is. I would guess just literary fiction. And I don't know. I think it's kind of the hero's journey of Eleanor Oliphant. I don't know how to say her name either. Have you read this? Let me know. Okay, 2 more, and both from my husband's family. So my sister-in-law let me take this. She was done with it. Little Fires Everywhere. I've never read this author. I know she's wildly popular. This is a TV show with Reese Witherspoon. Reese Witherspoon is just building her own book empire. It's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's historical fiction. We're in Cleveland. I don't know, and I don't really want to. I like being blind when I go into reading books. It's a nice short book. So is her other one that I have. I have Everything I Never Told You. I feel like that's what it's called. Everything I Never Told You. And that's short too. Oh, this isn't that short. 380 pages. I think the other one is around 200. I was maybe going to read the other one in December to quick get my reading goal done. And then lastly, this is so cute. My spiritual animal is a turtle, and my father-in-law found this book, I think at a used bookstore, and it's called Turtles All the Way Down, and he solely bought it for me based on the title, and it was so sweet. I looked this up. I think it's YA, which is not usually my thing. However, I have read a few YA recently that I liked, and I'm keeping it just for the title and the cover, but I might read this at some point. Let me know in the comments below if you've read this. On Goodreads, actually quite a few of my connections had read this and liked this, so fun. Do you have a spiritual animal? And what is it? Okay, There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books. 11 books. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to just get through some of these Stephen Kings. And it'll be interesting to see how many of these I read in 2022. I hope most of them. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you read one really solid book this year. That's my hope for you. And I hope next year, whether you read one book or 100, I hope you read one really good book. And yeah, I just wanted to say that. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Take care and bye.